And say, neighbor. Come on, say that to me. Say, neighbor, I might be down, but I ain't dead. I'm going to talk about this morning. I might be down, but I'm not dead. But you know why? Because it's all in God's hand. Me and we are dealing with so much right now, being a man, especially a man of God. You're dealing with so much right now because so many men feel like they're under house arrest. They can't really be free. They can't really do what they want to do because they're always trying to take care of everybody else. That you don't have time to take care of. Y'all gonna hear me preaching and take care of yourself, because sometimes you feel unappreciated. Sometimes you feel like no one really cares. And you always got to be the one to buy the flowers. You always got to be the one. Y'all, let me turn my back on y'all right there. Always have to be the one to always give the compliment. Sometimes it's good to have men know that, hey, baby, you still got it going on. Baby, you still looking good. You ain't got to tell me. I already know for myself. Maybe you got to give me, y'all got to hear me preach. Because I understand that no matter what we go through, sometimes you need to know you might be down, but you're not dead. Because I got to know it's in his hand. Because when things are going in the opposite direction that it looks like, and it's not working out like I think it should, you got to know that it's all in God's. Y'all gonna hear me preach. Where God is taking you, where God is taking you to the full potential, you got to know that only God can bring you where you need to be. It ain't about who you know, it's about whom you know. It ain't about who know your name, it's about make sure your name is written in the Lamb Book of Life. Because God knows some things are hidden to us that can only be effective when God reveals himself unto me. It ain't about who pats you on your back. Can I tell you, can I be truthful? Can I tell you the truth in power? Can I tell you, them same joker that said you was going to make it be the same one said you're not going to make it. The same one that's going to push you up the hill will be the one trying to pull you back down. I've learned in the lifetime, in life, and I've learned through life, there's going to be some time when folks going to say they got you. There's going to be some time when folks that say they not got you. But if God is in you, can't nobody stop you from doing what God told you to do. So we have to really know how to trust God. Somebody shout, trust God. Trust God, because he's looking out for my better half. He got my best interest in mind. But God will not allow us to go through anything that's not going to make us stronger than it was before I began. Y'all ain't going to hear me preach. God's not going to let you go through nothing that's going to make you stronger than what it was before you began. Because sometimes if you don't make you go through it, sometimes you got to push you through it. Sometimes you got to pull you through it. But the good news is I'm going through it. Through it means I might be down, but I'm not dead. You got to know how to trust God. Quit trusting in everybody else. Quit trusting in all kind of men. Can I be truthful? Man will let you down, but God will always have your back. I've learned. I've tried to lean on folks, and the folks I'm leaning on are the very one that moved out of my way, and I fell flat on my face. But when I learned how to lean and depend on God, when I was heavy, he still hit me up. When I was weary, God still hit me up. Shake your neighbor by the hand, like you're going to shake it up and say, neighbor, it's all in his hand. It's in his hand. What thing? What is that thing you want God to fix? What's that thing you want God to do? What's that thing you want God to heal? It's in his hand means, well, I'm going to let God keep it in his hands. Because when I put it in my hands, it gets a mess. But when I leave it in God's hands, he makes everything better. Give your neighbor a high five and say, neighbor, it's all in his hands. We're living in a time where people trust more in their ability than their availability with God. It ain't about how good you can sing. Can I tell you why I know? Because there's somebody that can sing a little bit better. I don't care how good you can play. There's somebody that can pray a little bit better. I don't care how good you can preach. There's somebody younger that can preach a little bit better. It ain't about how you is. It's how much God uses you in the season that you're in. This season might not last always, but since I'm in it, I'm going to do my thing, I'm going to do my role, and I'm going to keep on stepping. Because it's all in his hands. Shake your neighbor by the hand, like you're going to shake it off, and say, it's all in his hands. Y'all, I didn't come all the way from Newberry to play play church. I didn't come all the way. Yes, I got to go back, but they'd be all right till I get there. They can't start till I get there anyway. Because I've learned, even when you think you're all that in the bag of chips, your good is as filthy rags. And what the Bible said, Isaiah 6:64, it said, but we are as unclean things, and our righteousness are as what? Filthy rags. Can I tell you something, please? Can I tell them, Pastor? Let me tell them, please. Without God, you ain't I'm sorry to bust your bubble, pop your balloon. I don't care how good you are. Without God, why? Because we worry about what we can't control. Men, can I talk to the men for a second? If you can't fix it, don't fix it. You know why? You know what our problem is there, Rev? If we don't read directions. You ain't gonna hear me preach. I remember, I ain't gonna call his name. I remember a good friend of mine. He was trying to put together a toy for his child. And he put all the stuff out in the middle of the floor. He began to put stuff together, put this wheel with that wheel, and everything. I said, hey, Doc, where's the rest of that? I don't need all the rest. I'm looking at the picture. Well, when he got through with it, that thing was so unsafe, I was scared to put my child on it. Y'all hear what I'm saying? He had parts left over. I said, you know what your problem is, Doc? It might look like a wagon, but it ain't safe to be a wagon. You know why? Because you didn't read the directions. Some of you going through hell and high water. It might look like hell. It might not be safe to be out here, what I'm saying. But you got to read the directions. The direction says, and with his stripes, I'm here. And the direction says, I can do all things through Christ. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I might be down, but I'm not dead, because it's all in his hands. Y'all got to excuse me now, because I feel the wind about to come on. You don't know what I had to go through to get where I am. Every time I get ready to go somewhere, there's construction everywhere. They say yield ahead, lane closure ahead. We had to switch lanes, and God gave me a revelation. I don't care how many lanes you got to switch, as long as you keep moving. Some of you not switched a whole lot of lanes. You thought you were going to be on 85 your whole life. Now God got you on 3, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Got you on 385, got you on Lawrence Road, got you on 26. You're going a different way, but you got the same destination. I might be going a country road, but we all heading north. It don't matter. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, it's all in his hand. The Bible said God always knows. God is going to blow some of your mind. Why come he's attacking your finances so bad? How come he's attacking your family and your home so bad? Can I tell you why? Please let me tell you. Somebody shout, tell me. I'm going to tell you why. Because when something inside of you that God got to bring out of you, and sometimes he got to push it through you. Let me say it again. There's something inside of you that God got to bring out of you, and sometimes he got to push it through you. How many have ever been through anything up in here? It's called empowerment center. You got to be empowered. Thank you, brother, because now I understand what God is saying. I know what God gave me this word to let you know, even though you might look down. I ain't talking about the church. I'm talking about you. Even though you might look down, at least you're not dead. Dead means there's no future. Dead means I don't have a future. But the good news is, as long as I'm above ground, I got another day to get it right. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it's all in his hand. Y'all have to excuse me there. Pastor Perry, I hope I'm going to get through this thing, but I feel a squall coming out already. Because I understand. The Bible said, in all our ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct the path. In all our ways. My first point is, you got to know who you're talking to. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, who you been talking to. I don't care how good he looks, lady. He can be blue-eyed, bow-legged, hair high down, laid to the side. Smooth operator. But if he ain't there to build you, kick him out. Y'all can hear me. Let me turn my back on that. If then he ain't there to tell you how beautiful you are, you don't need no man whooping upside your head. Brother, really, you know the worst thing I hate is a man that beat a woman. Lord have mercy. I go to jail for that. If I see it, I'm going to jump on somebody's head up in here. Because she's a queen. Treat her like the queen that she is. And a king know how to treat a queen. If you got to beat on her, you don't need her. Say, let me absolutely, baby. Sayonara. Come at me later. Because it's all in his hand. Well, I'm about to go here. Because I got to go back down the road. Going about 85 miles an hour. I got to go preach another anniversary. But before I leave this section, I got to tell you a story. And I'm going to let you go. I'm going to tell you a story. I was all in God's hand. Well, there was a little girl named Susie. And her daddy was going out of town. And he said, Daddy, if you don't mind, when you come back in town, will you bring me a little something? And her daddy said, baby, I'm going to bring you something. Well, he was gone for about 3 days, and Susie got impatient. And Susie went to Mama. Her mama was on the phone. And she grabbed her mama and said, Mama, when Daddy coming home? And Mama said, go on out from here, Susie. I don't know when. About 2 hours later, she went back to Mama and said, Mama, when Daddy coming home? She said, Susie, I don't know when, but he's on the way. She said, well, my Daddy promised me he's gonna bring me something. Well, about 2 hours later, she went back to Mama, and Mama done her aggravated her. She said, Susie, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you I don't know when, but he's on his way. But there's always a devil in the room. She had a little brother named Tommy, and Tommy come in Susie. I don't know the bust your bubble, but Daddy told me he wasn't gonna bring you nothing. Susie got upset and she began to cry. And Mama said, what's wrong with you? She said, my brother Tommy told me that Daddy wasn't gonna bring me nothing. She said, don't listen to Tommy. Listen what your daddy said. Well, about 2 hours later, a car pulled up in the driveway, and Susie began to jump. She got all happy. She said, what's wrong with you? I heard Daddy pull up in the driveway, and her brother said, well, I hate to tell you, he ain't got you nothing. But Daddy opened up the door, and he stood in the door. He put his hand behind his back, and Tommy ran up and said, Daddy, how you doing? He said, son, I'm doing fine. He said, Daddy, how you doing? He said, son, I'm doing fine. Susie was just looking at her daddy. He didn't say a word. And one Tommy was walking off. He bent over and he told Susie, see there, Daddy ain't got you nothing. And Susie said, you got what Dad got because it's on. It's on in his hand. Shake your neighbor. Say neighbor. It's on in his hand. Say yeah. Yeah. Oh Lord, I'm so glad that it's all in his hand because I remember Daddy telling me that whatever you want, ask for it and it shall be yours.